It's okay to want to look your best.
Don't you want to look good naked?
At least for me, when I look my best, when I feel good about myself, when I look in the mirror, that does matter, right? Like people tell us, oh, you shouldn't care about what you look like in the mirror, that's so vain, or you shouldn't be, so focused on trying to lose weight or whatever it may be. But those things, they do matter. Like that is reality. How you feel, how you look at yourself in the mirror, how confident you are, that matters to you, and that's going to determine how you go throughout your day, right? If you wake up in the morning and you just feel like crap when you look at yourself, like what does that do? That's not gonna set your day up for success. You're gonna probably feel like shit. And this also comes back to some other things like the scale, right? Things like that, you have to understand how to use those metrics when you are, trying to lose body fat or trying to lose weight. The scale is only one metric, and it can be something that messes with a lot of people's head from a mental perspective. Even the amount of knowledge I know about how to use the scale, it still gets to me sometimes. But I think it all comes back to the awareness factor and the education behind how to use these different tools to get to where you want to be. Because if you're using the tools wrong, you're going to be adding a lot of mental stress to the picture. So that's kind of going off on a tangent, but just in terms of being okay and not really caring what other people think about what you're doing and just doing it for yourself, I think is really important. I would go to dinners or family holiday dinners and people be like, why aren't you eating this? Or why have another cookie or whatever it is. And that's obviously peer pressure from the outside. And I would say it does take time to work through that. It's not something that you can accept right away or be confident in right away to say, well, I'm not eating that cookie because I have body composition goals and I feel better reaching those goals, and I have a specific timeline that I'm trying to get to, and I'm doing this for me, so I don't want to eat the cookie. So it takes time to get to that point. So when I would go to events or go out to dinner and people would push food on me or be like, why aren't you eating this? Or you should taste this, have a bite of this. It takes time to be like, hey, realize what you're doing for you and don't care about what that peer pressure, what other people are saying to you or trying to get you to do, because who cares, right? You eating that cookie doesn't affect anybody else besides you. So I feel like in society today, there's mixed signals, right? Or mixed information out there where it's like, oh, you shouldn't focus on how you look because that's so superficial, that's vain. You should focus on, what's on the inside, not the outside. I think it just comes back to that whole confidence thing, right? Like, if you aren't focused on how you look and if you just kind of let yourself go, I feel like for most people, like you're not going to feel good. Like you're not going to feel confident overall. And so if you do say, oh, I'm just focusing on the inside and working on the inside and not worrying about the outside, maybe for some people that works. But I feel like for women, we're kind of told like, oh, don't worry about how you look. But then at the same time, we're being judged for how we look. And that's confusing. So I think the biggest thing is just realizing that it's okay to want to look good. It's okay to focus on changing your body composition and getting toned and changing your physique. That's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially if it makes you feel good, if it makes you more confident in what you're doing, if it also allows you to be healthier overall, right? So living a healthy lifestyle is very important for long-term longevity, making sure that you can, play with your kids as long as you can, or, be able to get off the toilets when you're 80 years old if you've been focused on building muscle, right? Those things are super important. It's never too late. Also, I work with a lot of clients who are in their 40s to 60s, even 30s to 60s. And I've heard some people come to me, or some women specifically, who have come to me and said, hey, I don't think, like I'm in menopause. I don't think I can build any more muscle, or I don't even know if I can build muscle where I'm at, but I feel like I need to, I feel like I need to lose weight. I want to get back to where I was. And I mean, I have a prime example. My mom started lifting weights literally for the first time in her 60s, right? She spent her entire life doing cardio, spinning, things like that. And then once I was able to educate myself, I was able to educate her and my dad, and they started lifting weights, and they still do. And she was able to completely change her body composition within just a year's time. She literally just started focusing on eating more protein and lifting weights like twice a week. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing muscles in my arms that I've never seen before. And that's at 60 years old. So it's never too late, no matter what age you are, no matter where you're starting at. So just realize that, you know, it's never too late. Women, we believe